Welcome back to the Tax Free Mania Blueprint. Today we're talking about Wesley Snipes. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, make sure you take the time now to subscribe so you don't miss a video. You are not going to want to miss any of this information about celebrities, taxes, and business all in one. I'm here to give you information about your favorite celebrities and how they use their taxes and businesses, but also to give you information to help you in your journey of life and business and taxes. So today we're talking about Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes is a well known movie star, and he played in movies such as Major League, Mo Better Blues, King of New York, New Jack City, Jungle Fever, White Man Can't Jump, Blade Trinity, Wolverine, and the list goes on. So Wesley Snipes, excuse me, is very well known, in the movie sector. But today we're going to talk about something that actually happened with Wesley Snipes and the way he did business. Now, let me ask you something. How does a Hollywood superstar, a man making tens of millions of dollars, end up going to prison over taxes? This is the real story of Wesley Snipes and how $23 million tax problem turned into one of the biggest financial cautionary tales in entertainment history. And if you're an entrepreneur, business owner, or even just making good money, this story could save you from making that same costly mistake that unfortunately Wesley Snipes made. So, Wesley Snipes wasn't just famous, he was that guy in Hollywood. From Blade to White Man Can't Jump, he was pulling multi-million-dollar paychecks per film. At his peak, he reportedly earned over $17 million for a single movie. Now imagine that level of income hitting your bank account. Sounds amazing, right? But here's where things start to shift for Wesley Snipes. Because when your income increases, your tax responsibility increases too. And that's where things can actually go wrong if you're not careful. As you make money, your taxes need to be secure and you need to have a strategy for that. So instead of working with experienced tax professionals, Snipes got involved with a group promoting something called the 861 argument. The theory basically claimed that US citizens don't have to pay federal income taxes on domestic earnings. Sounds crazy. And this is actually very true. When you're surrounded by people telling you what you want to hear instead of what you need to hear, it becomes dangerous. So Wesley Snipes stopped filing proper tax returns and instead filed documents demanding refunds, even trying to claim back millions that he already had paid in taxes. That's when the radar lit up for the IRS. The Internal Revenue Service started to watch to figure out what was going on with Wesley Snipes. So the IRS doesn't move as fast as we would think that the IRS moves, but when they move strategically because they feel that people know, and once they have to go into someone's taxes with a lot of earned income, they're going to find a strategy to find out the information that they want. So Snipes was charged with failure to file tax returns, conspiracy claims that were later dropped, attempting to defraud the government. Now, here's something important that we need to know. He wasn't convicted of tax fraud. A lot of people think he was convicted of tax fraud, but he was convicted of failing to file taxes. And that alone was enough to send him to prison. So he wasn't convicted of tax fraud, but not paying his taxes was enough for the radar to go up from the IRS to be notified of him as a taxpayer and his riches. Wesley Snipes was sentenced to 3 years in federal prison. Now let that sink in. A multi-millionaire, a global celebrity, lost his freedom over taxes. And on top of that, he still owed $23 million in back taxes, penalties, and interest. So not only did he lose his time, he lost wealth. And that's the part that people don't talk about enough. So now let's break that down. Because this isn't just about Wesley Snipes. This is about you. Here are the real lessons. Make money the right way, but also manage it right. So high income means nothing without proper tax strategy. Number 2, don't follow too good to be true tax advice. So they were pushing the 861 argument, and Wesley Snipes was listening to that, and that's what caused him not to pay his taxes. So he rebelled against taxes, and he lives in the United States where people have to pay taxes. So although he felt that he was right, legally, he had to face these consequences because he has received a lot of money and riches and wealth and was not paying taxes on that amount. So if someone tells you that you don't have to pay taxes, that's a red flag. That is a red flag because filing taxes is not optional. Even if you can't pay, you must file. That's one of the biggest mistakes that he made, is that he didn't file his taxes. So even if he would have filed his taxes, knowing that he had money that he actually owed in taxes, at least if he would have filed, it would have seemed like he was doing his taxpayer duties by at least filing his taxes. The IRS always gets paid. You can delay it, you can fight it, but eventually they will collect their money somehow, some way. There's a lot of people, going through garnishment or other situations because the IRS is always going to find a way to get their money and collect. So smart tax strategies build wealth. Smart tax strategies build wealth, not avoidance. So there's a difference between tax planning and tax evasion. One builds general wealth, which is tax planning, and the other destroys it, tax evasion. Trying to evade your tax duty is destruction. So if you're making money right now, whether it's real estate, business, or side income, you need to understand how to protect it, structure it, and grow it the right way, because the IRS is going to collect their taxes no matter what. So this is the story of Wesley Snipes and the $23 million mistake that cost him everything. So if you want to know more and you like to see me break down these stories, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. And if you want to get the tax-free millionaire blueprint, click the link in the description of this video and you can download it for free. Thanks for watching.